Welcome to the Waterfront Walking Visual Tour. My name is Annette, and with the Harbor History Museum, I will be your guide today. We, along with the Downtown Waterfront Alliance and Harbor WildWatch, are the three groups that have been bringing you waterfront walking tours for the past 6 years. Because of the current situation in our world, this year's tours will be brought to you virtually via Facebook and YouTube. This tour is special in my heart because it explores historical industries and social life before and after Prohibition. Even though I am super passionate about Gig Harbor, please remember I am not a historian. Also, it is simply not possible to cover everything about Gig Harbor on each stop. So please feel free to share your knowledge and stories with us in the comments section. You are also welcome to ask us questions, and we will do our very best to answer them. We are now standing in the heart of downtown Gig Harbor, known as Skansie Park. This park is named after one of Gig Harbor's founding families that arrived in the late 1800s from what is now known as Croatia. The family consisted of 4 brothers named Andrew, Joseph, Mitchell, and Peter Skansie, each of whom contributed significantly to the first industries that shaped Gig Harbor, most notably shipbuilding and commercial fishing. They built 3 structures that still exist in the park today: the Skansie Shipyard, the Skansie Net Shed, and the Skansie House. The Skansie Shipyard is where the Shenandoah was built and is still an active boatyard with the Gig Harbor Marina. The Skansie Net Shed is now run by a foundation and features the tools and equipment used in the net sheds to work on the boats and the nets. The Skansie House is now home to the Skansie Visitor and Interpretive Center, operated by Harbor WildWatch. This park is also home to the Jerisich Public Pier, named after Samuel Jerisich, who is commonly referred to as Gig Harbor's founding father. Samuel was a Slavonian fisherman and one of the first 3 white people to settle here in 1867. Besides fishing, he operated a dogfish oil business. In this business, he rendered oil-rich dogfish trimmings to produce lamp oil, fish meal, and machine lubricants. The machine lubricant was for the donkey engines used in the logging industry. Heads and fins were used for glue, and the skins could be used as sandpaper, a trick that the settlers learned from the native peoples. Samuel Jerisich was married to a native woman named Anna from the Penelakut tribe in Canada. After settling, Samuel actually rowed in a large skiff to Canada to bring his wife and daughter to Gig Harbor to live. 2 other original settlers were Joe Jerisich and John Novakovich. Joe married the oldest Jerisich daughter and lived in the large white house we passed near Arabelle's Landing. John Americanized his name to Novak and married a Puyallup native woman. And finally, this is a perfect spot at the foot of Rosedale Street to bring in some more talk of spirits. In some cases, the definition of personal use of alcohol, which was part of Prohibition, actually helped the local grape growing industry. Don Zamel, Rosedale Red, came about and flourished, as did others during this time period. And it was also a not so well concealed fact that there were hidden distilleries and winemaking activities in many areas of Gig Harbor, some in the bathtubs of homes that still stand today, complete with the red ring around the tub. Once the Skansie brothers grew up and started their own families, one of the 4 brothers, Joe, built his own family home just down the road, near what is now the Russell Family Foundation. The family tells stories about the mishaps that occurred when partying sailors came down the Soundview Hill in the 1930s through 1950s. Those who had a bit too much to drink would inevitably miss the turn called Devil's Elbow and end up crashing right in the front yard of the Skansie family. Sometimes on Saturday nights, they wondered how many drunken sailors would be passed out in their yard on Sunday morning. Thank goodness that tradition is no more. Well, that's it for our tour today. Thank you so much for joining us on our exploration of Skansie Park and Jerisich Dock. Please tell your family, friends, and anyone thinking about visiting Gig Harbor in the future to watch these videos to learn a little bit more about our beautiful waterfront and how we are all, past and present, tied to the water.